Page 14, Waltz. 3/4 time, well, it's a waltz, of course it is. It's got one sharp in the key signature. We're in the key of G major. All the Fs are automatically going to be F sharped. There aren't any Fs in the piece, but it doesn't matter. It's in the key of G major, therefore it must have a sharp in the key signature. Right hand first, dotted half notes. Remember, a dotted half note is the same as 3/4 notes, so it's 3 counts. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. So you have a rest on beat 1 there. That's about as tricky as the left hand or the right hand gets. I can't remember left and right. Ugh. Left hand, this is your pulse, this is your drums, this is the thing that's going to keep you going. Don't make it sound like a drum, but be steady. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Isn't this fun? Second line, you have an A. 1, 2, 3. Third line, you have a B. And then an A. Oh boy. And then the last line on page 14 is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, rest. You need to repeat back to the top. Put the hands together here. So work it all out like that. So you got it. Let's go down to the last line. On page 14, you're here. So that A is tied for 2 measures as you do this. Then you're going to repeat back up. Now when you repeat back up, you're going to lift up the right hand because it starts a new phrase. They didn't mark phrasing in here, but I'm telling you it's a new phrase. It's at the beginning of the piece. It has to be a new phrase. But the left hand, they have a... No. Connect that left hand all the way through. From the last measure at the bottom, when you repeat up, connect it to the first measure. It leads into there, leads into here. And you always connect it when you lead into something. So the last measure at the bottom going back up to the top. You lift up the right hand, but keep that left hand legato. At the top of page 15 on the second ending here. And the right hand's tied again as you do that. You can add there's no real articulation except the slurring. And the left hand, these, they're not marked staccato and you don't want them real short, but you're going to you can make it what we call a long staccato. It's not, that would be legato, that's connected. We don't want that. You can separate them a little bit. So it's... That's tricky then when you get to the last measure of the first line, because in the last 2 beats of it, you're connecting this, but not the left hand. So you're lifting up in one and not the other. So the last measure of the first line is there. So lift up there. It's a type of way of interpreting a waltz accompaniment. Sometimes they'll be short, real short, but not in this one. Then we can add the dynamics. You're starting out soft, and that's the right hand. This left hand has to be very soft throughout. We want to hear the right hand. It's the melody. What is soft for this? And make the left hand softer than that. Then you're going to go up at the end of the line to moderately soft. Just a little bit, not a lot. Ba-dum. That's moderately soft. So again at the beginning. A little louder. At the end of the line, go up again to moderately loud. Now you see the dim in the third line, second measure. Diminuendo means start getting softer. But take your time on this. You don't want to be soft until the second measure of the next line. So you're going to take, what, 4 or 5 measures, whatever it is, to go from moderately loud to soft. Ugh. So in the third line, I'm going to stay moderately loud for the first 2 measures. Now I might come down just a hair. Each time I do this, each one of those is a little softer. And the left hand just stays under that. So it's at the beginning of the third line, you're here. A little softer. Soft. Like so, that's how I would do it. You have to figure out your crescendos and diminuendos when they're spread out like that, so you don't get loud and soft too soon here. So it makes sense. Here it kind of helps because you can follow the melody in the right hand and you have the sequence coming down. That's a sequence, it's a repeated pattern of notes going up or down. Well, that's going down here. So each time you play that, play it a little softer. That's all. And the left hand just stays soft throughout. Speed-wise, allegretto. It's between moderato and allegro. I call it the fun speed. This is a happy piece. It has to feel that. It's not the beat, it's feel that. Just not real fast, just sort of fast. That's my impression of it. You don't have to go that fast. You can go slower. That's it. I mean, I feel that's a little slow, but it's a personal thing. What do you feel it should be on the happy side? Now, roadmap-wise, you see the first and second endings. At the bottom of page 14, there's a 1 with a line across the whole line. That's the first ending. So it's like the first ending is 4 measures long. See, an ending can be any number of measures. Well, if you look at the top of page 15, there's a 2 with a little line that goes for a measure or so and then stops. It actually goes for the whole line, but they don't need to draw it that long, so okay. That's the second ending. So we're going to play page 14 down to the bottom, then we'll repeat and go back up and play the first 3 lines of 14 again. You don't do the last line again, you've already done it. First ending, you only do it 1 time. So when you finish the 3rd line, you immediately go to the top of page 15 and do the second ending. And that's the way the piece works. I'd like to play it with you very slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. Not going to do the dynamics, but I will do the first and second endings and the repeat and all that. So I'll give us 3 counts and let's try it together slowly. And be sure you work out all hesitations here because that beat has to be steady. 1, ready, go. Repeat.